Big Blue, stop right now. MetLife Stadium just exploded with breaking news, and one single number is already on the table: $37 million. An undrafted rookie speedster is threatening to steal a veteran's roster spot. A former second-round center is staring down a brutal contract reality, and a massive injury in Carolina has ignited trade rumors around a former top 5 pick. Insiders warned us this morning, and here is your first payoff: that $37 million figure. It is the exact projected market valuation for John Michael Schmitz Jr. that front office executives are calling completely detached from reality. If you bleed blue, white, and red and want to see New York stand tall, hit like and subscribe right now. We start with a backfield battle that could end with a shock cut before week 1. Stay locked, because a double cliffhanger is waiting at the end. Whispers turned into footsteps on the practice field. The name? Damon Bankston. Now watch the shift in this backfield dynamic. Training camp is underway for the rookies, and while the top 2 running back spots belong to Cam Skattebo and Tyrone Tracy, the battle for the 3rd spot on the 53-man roster is suddenly wide open. Most fans assumed Devin Singletary had the job locked up after restructuring his contract earlier this offseason. Many expected Singletary to be cut, but John Harbaugh decided to hold on to the veteran, at least for now. Enter Damon Bankston, an undrafted free agent who starred at Weber State and New Mexico. Last season with the Lobos, Bankston rushed for 635 yards and 5 touchdowns on 5.6 yards per carry, while also hauling in 31 receptions for 397 yards and 3 scores. The year prior, Bankston racked up 1,104 rushing yards at Weber State. At 5'10", this speedster brings elite special teams value, having punched in 2 kick return touchdowns in 2025. Don't think for a second that doesn't matter, because Harbaugh values versatility above all else. Is Singletary's roster spot in danger? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Out of all the bubble players in New York, Bankston has the highest upside. He is 23 years old, loaded with potential, while Singletary has been a major disappointment since signing his 3-year deal in March 2024. The Giants may value Singletary's experience with Skattebo coming off a significant injury, but this franchise is still in rebuilding mode. They must prioritize the future, and Bankston offers far more intrigue than a declining veteran. If Bankston puts together a strong preseason, he could bump Singletary off the roster entirely. Or perhaps he will make the cut over someone else at a different position if New York views him strictly as a special teamer. There are certainly no guarantees, but Bankston's name is definitely one to monitor this summer. Think about what that kind of burst does for a 3rd down package. When a defense is worn down in the 4th quarter, dropping a 23-year-old home run hitter into the backfield completely changes how linebackers have to play the pass. Singletary has served his purpose as a steady pair of hands, but in today's league, predictability gets you beat. Bankston represents unpredictable electric speed. Beyond that, modern NFL offenses rely heavily on explosive plays in space, and Bankston brings a lateral agility that Singletary simply cannot match at this stage of his career. If the coaching staff wants to push the tempo and force opposing linebackers to drop deeper into coverage, having a back who can accelerate through the line of scrimmage in a split second becomes an absolute game changer. Think of how defenses have to adjust when a true threat enters the game on 3rd and long. They can no longer just pin their ears back to rush the passer. Bankston forces secondary defenders to freeze, opening up throwing lanes for the entire passing game. That added dimension could elevate the entire offense from day 1. Do you think the Giants should cut Singletary and keep Bankston? Smash that like button if you agree it's time to build for the future. But as big as this backfield decision is, the situation along the offensive line is reaching a breaking point. Scouts called it calculated talent, but 3 years later, the execution has fallen flat. The question wasn't if the center position would be fixed, but when. The name? John Michael Schmitz Jr. And the front office is running out of patience. To say the New York Giants didn't get their value's worth when they drafted John Michael Schmitz Jr. with the 57th pick in the 2023 draft would be an understatement. 3 years after taking the former Minnesota standout, the center position feels just as unsettled as it did before they drafted him. The G-men have been caught in a frustrating cycle of spending premium draft capital on a need, only for the problem to remain unsolved. Spotrac currently projects a 3-year, $37.3 million market valuation for Schmitz, which breaks down to $12.4 million annually. That number is completely detached from reality. As he enters the final year of his rookie contract in 2026, New York is staring down a major switch-up in 2027, either through free agency or the draft. Looking at the metrics, Pro Football Focus graded his rookie season at a brutal 41.4, ranking 37th out of 37 qualified centers. In 2024, he improved to 61.4, ranking 30th out of 43. Last season in 2025, he posted a 60.8 grade, ranking 29th out of 40. He has plateaued in the bottom tier of starting centers. His core issue is an inability to hold his ground against powerful defensive linemen, collapsing the pocket from the inside out and compromising the guards next to him. A center who requires constant help severely hamstrings the entire protection scheme. General Manager Joe Schoen hates parting ways with his draft picks, but paying top dollar for replacement-level play will trap this team in cap hell. Every quarterback needs an anchor he can trust blindly pre-snap, someone who can make line calls and absorb a zero-technique nose tackle without getting pushed back into the handoff. When the center position fails, the entire offense decays. The guards are forced to pinch inward to help, which opens up B-gap blitz lanes for roaming linebackers. That domino effect destroys tackle play and ruins play-action timing before the quarterback even reaches his third step. When you analyze film across the league, top-tier offenses succeed because their interior line generates push in short yardage situations and maintains a clean pocket depth. Schmitz's inability to establish leverage against physical interior defenders means the quarterback is constantly forced to slide off his spot, leading to hurried throws and unnecessary hits. In a division packed with elite defensive fronts, having a weakness right in the middle of your line is a recipe for disaster. If the front office commits 8 figures to a player struggling to maintain average grades, it locks the franchise into mediocrity along the line for years to come. Should Joe Schoen let Schmitz walk after this season? Comment your take below. If you want to see this offensive line rebuilt properly, subscribe to the channel right now. But while the offense deals with internal uncertainty, a sudden injury on another team has put one of New York's primary defensive stars directly in the trade crosshairs. A move 3 years in the making, or a desperation call from a rival in need? Sources say trade inquiries have hit the phones since yesterday morning. The identity everyone's asking about? Kayvon Thibodeaux? And the front office's resolve is being tested like never before. The start of training camp brings hope, but the Carolina Panthers just suffered a major disaster on the field. A brutal knee injury to second-year edge defender Nick Scorton resulted in a torn ACL, knocking him out for the foreseeable future and creating instant panic in Carolina. Zach Roberts of Carolina Panthers on SI immediately named Kayvon Thibodeaux as the premier replacement target for Carolina. Heading into the 5th and final year of his rookie contract, Thibodeaux has been surrounded by trade rumors all offseason. Carolina is desperate to add a quality edge defender who can impact both the run and the pass, as they are currently forced to rely on Patrick Jones II and Princely Umanmielen. However, trading Thibodeaux makes zero sense for Big Blue unless Carolina offers a massive overpay. Without Thibodeaux, New York would have no depth on the edge, forcing an early, premature positional switch from rookie Arvell Reese. Another team's panic does not change New York's roster reality. Unless the Panthers are willing to part with a high second-round pick, Joe Schoen must hold the line and keep the former top 5 pick in blue. Edge rushers who can disrupt the pocket and set a firm edge against external run plays are gold in this league. You do not give away elite defensive tools to fix another general manager's emergency unless you receive astronomical draft capital in return. Consider the long-term impact on defensive rotation and fresh legs late in games. In today's high-tempo NFL, having a deep pass rush unit is essential for closing out victories in the fourth quarter. If New York trades away a starting-caliber pass rusher, opponent offenses will easily double-team the remaining rushers, neutralizing the entire defensive scheme. Thibodeaux provides a rare combination of length, explosive speed off the snap, and the capability to turn the corner against top tackles. Losing that presence without an immediate elite replacement creates a massive void that opposing coordinators will exploit every single week. The trade market can always be revisited at the trade deadline if the season strays off course, but right now, holding pat is the only logical choice. Should the Giants trade Thibodeaux for a second-round pick, or keep him for a playoff push? Drop your answer in the comments. If you believe Thibodeaux belongs in New York, smash that like button and let the rest of the league know Big Blue isn't selling cheap. Now, let's step back and look at how all 3 of these major storylines collide to shape the future of this franchise. 3 stories. 1 clear direction. An undrafted rookie running back pushing out an expensive veteran, a former second-round center fighting for his NFL survival, and a star edge rusher standing at the center of league-wide trade intrigue. New York isn't just preparing for a season. Big Blue is redefining its entire core identity. This franchise is standing at a critical fork in the road. If Damon Bankston proves he belongs, the backfield becomes faster, younger, and cheaper. If John Michael Schmitz Jr. fails to make a dramatic leap forward, the front office will finally cut ties and rebuild the interior offensive line once and for all. And if Joe Schoen holds firm on Kayvon Thibodeaux, this defense keeps the teeth it needs to compete in a ruthless NFC East. The math is simple. Youth, discipline, and leverage will decide whether the Giants shock the league in 2026 or remain trapped in a rebuild. To dominate this division, New York must outthink and out-physical every rival on the calendar. The front office cannot afford emotionally driven decisions. Every draft pick, every roster bubble decision, and every contract extension must serve a strict winning timeline. Here is what I need from Big Blue Nation right now. 1. Smash that like button if you believe the Giants should keep Kayvon Thibodeaux and let the defense cook. 2. Drop a comment with your exact prediction for Damon Bankston. Does he make the 53-man roster or not? 3. Subscribe to the channel right now because every new subscriber helps us outshout Eagles and Cowboys fans and keeps this community growing strong. But listen closely because the tension doesn't stop here. One major signature on a restructured contract is still holding up front office negotiations, and insiders report a secret meeting took place yesterday afternoon regarding a potential free agent offensive lineman. That announcement could drop within the next 48 hours. And on top of that, a rumor is circulating that the Philadelphia Eagles are quietly scouting the exact same pass rush depth options, preparing to jump if New York makes a single misstep with Thibodeaux. Which side moves first, Big Blue or Philly? Plus, whispers inside the facility suggest a veteran player addressed the locker room after yesterday's practice, issuing a stern warning about camp intensity. That full report drops next. If New York stands tall, the NFC East falls. Subscribe, stay locked, and let's raise the skyline together. See you in the next breakdown.